Hello, welcome to my debut video of Life Talks. I'm going to be putting on my channel. My name is Braden Wallace, born and raised in Devils Lake, born 9/28/89. By my calculations, that would make me 30 years old. I'm a Libra. I like football. I like fitness. I like having a good time. So on and so forth. So what this show or these videos are going to entail or going to cover is just subjects about everyday life, certain subjects, certain life instances we come across a lot, or anything in general, anything about life, any advice. That's what I want to do. I want to maybe help encourage, maybe help inspire, give some guidance. And then also, equally as important, I want to be able to listen to my own advice too. So here goes. Now the subject I want to touch today for my debut video is going to be saying no and not feeling obligated to do something. Now, to be more specific, what I mean by that is, let's say you have a group of friends that like to constantly hit you up, ask you for money or any kind of other favors or whatever, and they do it all the time, constantly. Well, let's say that you've helped them out twice already, maybe 3 times. Once, a couple times in a great while ain't a big deal. I mean, as far as I look at it. But after those first couple times that they make a habit of doing it, 3, 4, 5 times, and it becomes 6 or 7, they're constantly blowing up your phone, asking you for money, for rides, or whatever other yada yada. Then that's where I recommend drawing the line and saying no. I recommend having to cut that off, because they're going to keep doing it and they're going to end up dragging you down. And trust me when I tell you, I know you want to be nice, but you want to help them out. Don't help them out that many times. Because when they're constantly hitting you up and asking you for stuff, that shows that they're not trying to fend for themselves or trying to make their own ends meet. They're not trying to be independent. They'd rather rely on someone else, and that someone else happens to be you, and because you did it for them several times before. If you keep doing it, then your life is going to be ruled by them, pretty much. You're going to feel compelled to do it because you want to be nice. Well, if they never paid you back or returned the favor for any of those things, then you don't owe them nothing. So if they guilt trip you for telling them no, then don't feel hard on yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. And especially if they haven't even met you halfway or even returned the favor. I mean, it's basic principle. They gotta show that they were good for it, that they deserve the benefit of the doubt, and so if you're gonna tell them no, I mean, you could still be polite about it. Just say, no, I can't at this time, or I'm unavailable, sorry, and if they ask why, or, oh, come on, yada, yada, and they want a reason for why you're saying no, just tell them I'm not at liberty to say. It's irrelevant. They get mad at you for it, like I said. If you don't owe them anything, then you don't owe them an explanation either. You don't need to justify yourself to them. I mean, and another thing too is, these people, you could still be friends with them or acquaintances. You could still talk to them. I mean, it's all right. But as long as they know that the line's been drawn and you're not going to bend over too far backwards for them, then it's okay. Let's say you see them at the store. Well, let's say they might still be upset at you because you told them no. You drew the line. Well, then you're fine. You didn't do nothing wrong. They've happened to come across somebody who drew the line and cut them off. Maybe and hopefully they're realizing that, hey, I got to rely on myself if I want to get things done, or I want this or that. Got to go make my own money. I got to go to work. Your life will be a lot easier when you do that. Maybe not at first, but your life will be a lot easier if you go out and make your own money, relying on yourself. A lot of times in that regard, if you're too reliant on other people to pay your bills for you, or, to help you be happy or to have fun, chances are, I'm sorry to say, you're going to be disappointed. The only person you really can rely on most of the time for almost anything is yourself. It's okay to get help once in a while, and it's okay to help out certain ones once in a while. The ones that barely ever ask. The ones that ask maybe once every blue moon, and you're able to help them out, do it. And don't be shy to do a good deed here and there either. Opening the door for someone, or helping an elderly lady out with her groceries, hauling them into the car for her if you see her parked next to your car at the store and she's having trouble. Yeah, do stuff like that. That's a good deed. Not necessarily a favor. Can be considered that, but it's more or less a good deed. That is okay. That's okay. That's when it's okay to be nice. But not enabling people to constantly hound you for favors or money. Those guys got to get out there and make it happen, get their own stuff done, make their own money. And like I said, it's not going to be easy necessarily to, draw that line and cut them off. Maybe these friends, you're close with them. Maybe, maybe you have a bond with them, a connection, and you don't want to just cut that off. So that's why you do it politely. But honestly, though, when it comes down to it, the harsh reality is they're probably not even your real friends if they can't understand that you have to say no and that you have to draw the line. They're not your friends, more than likely. They just want something out of you because they feel entitled to it, because maybe they got shortchanged earlier in their life. Maybe they feel like they got the short end of the stick. Maybe they felt like somebody let them down, so they got complacent, they got discouraged, and they might have lost the will to, go and make it on their own and started becoming dependent on others. So just remember, you're not doing them a favor by doing them a favor. I know how bizarre that sounds, but it's true. You'll be doing them a favor in the long run by drawing that line, cutting them off. Just remember that. It's not your responsibility to take care of them. They're not going to pay your electric bill, are they? Not going to pay your rent. They wouldn't do the same for you. If they're constantly asking you for help. So don't worry about what they think either. It's a matter of, it's the principle. All you got to worry about is the principle, doing what's right, and in the long run, that's what's going to help. And I will say, if you can learn to do this and cut them off and draw that line, then kudos to you. I have respect for you for having the courage to stand up to your friends and tell them no. Because it does take courage. I'm not saying this is easy, but in the long run, it's going to make a difference in your life and in theirs, because you'll be less stressed out, feeling compelled to help them, and then hopefully they'll have a fire lit underneath them, figuratively speaking, to maybe get the ball rolling in their life to where they can start getting their stuff together. If they're backed into a corner, nowhere else to go, maybe they'll realize. So help them out in that way. Help them out by not enabling them. I think that's all at this point. I hope this video was informative and educational, and I want to have more to come. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to the debut of Life Talks. And that's about it. Have a good life. No, that was not your computer buffering or whatever you were using or anything freezing up. That was just me getting lost in the moment. Sorry about that. All right. Have a good one.